Yes, guys. So we have heard it so many times before. Where is the data? Where is the data? We complain about being discriminated against. What do they tell us? Sorry, it can't be proven. Where's the data? Well, guys, this brother that we have on today, Dr. C. Justine Pierre. He is the director of Dunn Pierre Barnett Company Canada Limited. They are doing a national study, national research. The OFC is proud to be partnering with them to collect. We're doing actually workforce development, labor market management, and the needs of our community. We are genuinely doing research across the board, finding out what are the needs of Canadians, what is where we stand as Canadians, and how we could actually use this data to empower ourselves as a melanated community. Stay tuned today on the Empower Hour.
I think this is me.
Welcome to the Empower Hour. We're bringing power to the people because the people have the power. This squad's going to entertain, enlighten, and empower y'all. I'm Queen Kaya, joined by Pharaoh Hammond Freeman and Gina the Great. But before we do anything else, like always, we're going to bless this show and our kings and queens listening.
I am so grateful to life, God, our creator, and our ancestors for creating this opportunity. I'm sending out love, light, unity, strength to all our community members. Everybody who is listening today, I ask that today's show, let it be very uplifting, let it be enlightening, let it be empowering for each and every one of our listeners. I feel like there's more I want to say. You know what? I'm going to reverse it, and I'm going to close out with saying, blessed melanated rising, my people. Let's get it. How are you guys doing this morning? How you doing, Queen Kai? How you doing, Inga? Oh, I look how you, Gina the Great.
I know. Good, thank you.
And I'm doing well, you know. I'm still black, so I'm still on top.
Guys, we have an amazing show set up for you guys. Sit back, relax as we dive into another break, and we will be back with Parlay with the People.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the People.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people, y'all.
Yes, beautiful people. So we are back. And like I had mentioned at the top of the show, guys, data. Without the data, without the proof, without the information, it's like what is it? Like being in a boat without any paddles. You're just here. You're just kind of floating around in circles. You can't go, you have no direction, you have no weight, no power, you can't influence any kind of change. And that's why I'm super excited to have our Dr. Justine Pierre, who's with us, who's going to be sharing and deep diving. My brother, welcome to Empower Hour, and thank you for being on Parlay with the People with us today.
That's good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Brother Pharaoh and team. Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it, and it will be a very good opportunity to share what we do, who we are, how you all can know more about me, what's my passion in the 30 to 45 minutes we have on air.
Amazing. So like you just said, and everybody who knows me knows how I like to get down. I like to give our listeners an opportunity just to introduce themselves and let's connect with you personally. So who are you even before the Dr. Pierre? Let's talk about you.
Right. So very, very good. As I said to the fellow audience, as a thank you again. My name is Justine Pierre. I am originally from the Caribbean. I'm a revolutionary. I'm known from the country of Grenada, and you all should know during Grenada we were the first country to really pick up arms and overthrow their leadership. So coming from that background, we have always been able to test the system. We have always been able to look at evidence. We are able to look at data before we give our opinion. I am the last of 6 children of both my mother and father's side. I've been here since in the 80s, 86, 87. And I've always been an inquisitive person. I've always sort of not I'm not a sheep per se, and I've
Mhm.
always sort of questioned things. And sometimes, as a child, you get in trouble, and I think that's where I am. I always question things, and I've learned from guys like Tony Robbins and all of the good leaders to when you hear information, start questioning it.
Mhm.
Well, because some of us we believe things that were said to us maybe 2,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, and we believe it as though it's real. But
Yeah.
things have changed, and hopefully, I base my life on that. I question things, and then that's what how we do. We question, we investigate, we measure, and that's how we are able to do what we do as an organization. I
I
presently live in Toronto, Ontario, Brampton.
I love, and like I have to appreciate you starting by saying you're a revolutionary. Because I feel in the times that we're in right now, like this is what we need. We need those who are willing to kind of take up a mantle, set an example of how to put a bit to push back a little bit, and to put but not just to push back with no aim and no direction, but to really stand your ground when you know what is right, when you know what is wrong, and stand your ground. Understand the rules of engagement because that's just the name of the game, right? If you want to make any kind of impact, you don't want to just come and just flaring your arms and just yelling and making noise, where there's actually a process you could implement to actually like force change. So it's almost like I like to coin these things as you're a leader of a quiet revolution, because you don't we don't need to pick up arms. We could just use our brains, use our abilities, use our skills, use our ability to influence, and let's put ourselves back in a position. And the work that you're doing right now, not just is it benefiting right now, but it's definitely benefiting our generations to come. So I appreciate what you're doing, my brother, and I thank you for what it is. So you mentioned a bit about the organization. So if you can you elaborate a little bit for us, so for those who might not be aware of your organization, the name and how it works?
Okay, good. Very good. So our company, our firm name is Dunn, Pierre and Company Canada Limited. So we are a basically a technology company, a research firm. So we are in the management consultancy business. We are a Black-owned research firm. We deal with things like human resources development, training. We also specialize in things like vocational education and training, data science. We have specific specialization in what is called labor market needs assessment, and so that's a special type of survey which is conducted by the World Bank, and we have special, like say, credentials in doing that. We have done, in terms of surveys worldwide, we have done about 160 surveys worldwide in about 40 countries. So we are known more outside of Canada more than we have known inside of Canada. We believe that we have the most experience conducting survey among Black people than any organization in Canada. We have the experience, as I said, we have conducted tens of surveys, labor market surveys, census, all type of data on the Black population. We basically have done it. And so we are, last year, for example, we conducted a survey called organized by the ACBN, which is called a labor market needs assessment, like a rapid Black labor market needs assessment. And the survey was very important because it's really the first type of survey, labor market survey, that was ever conducted in Canada.
Wow.
And it is very important because when the World Bank came into existence in 1944, or in its history, in the 70 years history, the World Bank has supported over 135 countries to conduct labor market needs assessment, especially from the developing country into the developed country. However, in the history of Canada, a labor market needs assessment has never been done on the Black population.
Can I ask a quick question? Sorry.
Sure.
What and for those who might be like me and are like labor market needs us, what does that mean? Can you like just for in layman terms, like what does that mean, a
Right.
labor market needs assessment?
So for example, based on the World Bank, based on the UN mandates, in order to know about your country, in order to know, for example, Perry, if I want to know um, what type of skills you would need in 5 years' time, what is the demand for labor, what is the demand, how many nurses you have, how many children you would have to graduate per year, how many doctors you want, lawyers, anything for your population. A labor market, these type of survey where a labor market needs assessment is required for that type of information. So imagine that we are the 1.5 million people in Canada as Black people. We have about 1.1 million persons that are working, and yet in the history of our country, no data like that has been
Wow.
So, Dr.
done.
Pierre, not to cut you off, because I feel like it's such good information, especially for businesses, right? They understand it. But for the average person, when they say, well, why should I do this? What would you say to them? Why would you say that this is so important for
Right.
us as individuals to get involved?
Right. Yes. So it's very important because without data, if you don't have the data, it's just that you're just another person with an opinion. Every country collects data on its population. Every country in the world, 135 countries. In fact, conducting labor market needs assessment, it's so critical. It's so that the World Bank requires that anytime someone gets a loan, a country gets a loan, they're required to conduct these important studies. However, in our history as Black people in Canada, a labor market needs assessment has never been conducted in 70 years. So that shows something maybe. So we, even though labor market assessments is done for other provinces and for other areas, but none of the information is done for our group. Yes, the organizations they conduct a labor force survey. I mean, every couple of months, but a labor force survey is not a labor market needs assessment, and that is why we attempted one in 2022, a rapid one for Southern Ontario, but something is needed. Okay, and that's why we see every couple of years the same challenges with the Black community coming up over and over and over and over. And according to the World Bank and according to these international organizations, it is lacking. A labor market needs assessment is lacking. All countries, Jamaica, Trinidad, almost developing country have conducted labor market needs assessment. And
So
that is
this is how you get your voice out in a way,
yes,
right? Your number counted, that you have been here. Maybe your grandmother came, maybe your mother came. And this is the way to say, you know what, we've been here for a while. We need this information to be in the hands of the people who are making choices that determine my future or my child's future or my child's future. Am I, is that fair?
Exactly. Yes, and that is why, as I said, is needed. Black. So, for example, after the death of George Floyd, there have been a great interest in the collection of Black data. As of today, close to 92 organizations started collecting data on the Black population. Less than 2% of those persons are very few Black organizations. So the majority of persons who collect data on the Black population are non-white people. And we believe that our data is important. As McKinsey last year, McKinsey did a study, and it's stated that the Black business, the Black information about Black people, it's about a $300 billion business.
Wow.
So it's important that we start collecting that kind of data, and that's where we come in. We have been collecting data since 2014, so about 10 years now. We have been collecting data. We collect what is called a labor market needs assessment on twice a year. Right now, we started from 10 organizations. Now we collect data on about 592 organizations.
Nice.
Yes, so we have close to 2,900 persons in the Black community who provide information to us. So we buy data and we try, because we need to know who we are. because historically, as I said, as a Black person who descendants of enslaved people, for hundreds of years we never know who we were. So it's important for me as a Black person to collect the data. In fact, there are about 200 million of us living in the Americas, and we do not know any very little information about us. In fact, for example, from our data, there are Black people in Argentina, there are persons in Peru who live in the same condition as slavery. So
Right.
if we need to start collecting those kind of data, we will be made aware
Of course.
and we initiate change.
Let's take a quick positive cause just to shout out our homegirls, Kemba and Andrea from Keen Real Estate Group. Whenever you're thinking real estate, whenever you're thinking investments, whenever you're thinking about planning for the long term, think Keen Real Estate Group. They're generating wealth for generations. KeenGroup.ca. If your goal is to purchase a car and to make the process as simple as possible, just get a car broker, guys. You just get a car broker. Big shout out to our homeboy, Hamsdale Jacques, the owner of hjcourtierauto.com. That's HJCOURTIERAUTO.com. If you're a small to medium-sized business and you're getting started and you're ready to go to that next level, what do you need? You need a phone line and you need a website. Think Mainstream Digicom. They got all your telecommunication needs checked. MainstreamDigicom.com. You're trying to get out on the web. You're trying to understand how to navigate through ads. Check out Java Logics for all your marketing, your digital marketing. Where would we be without Preston? I don't even know. Check out Java Logics. I give thanks to Preston for what he's done for the OFC. The amount of positive reviews we've gotten from all his referrals, we're proud to stand behind his work. Check out javalogics.com. No, it's not just because he's my brother. It's because you can't talk hip-hop in Montreal without saying M City Solo. Guys, check out his latest project, In My Fields, available on mcitysolo.com. If it's not one of the hardest new EPs to hit Montreal, come and let me know. You already know. It's your boy, Pharaoh, bigging up mcitysolo.com. Keeping the culture alive. I gotta give thanks to West Can Folk Performing Company. For the last 40 years plus, they've been promoting our culture through song, drum, and dance, educating youth, the children, the seniors. Just check them out, westcanfolk.com.
Girl, what are you cooking?
My curry chicken.
Ooh, you're burning it.
Gosh, it looks so...
It's okay, girl. You need the Curry House. They have the best Caribbean food in town. 2 locations in Montreal, West Island, and Côte-Neige. For more information, follow Caribbean Curry House, MTL. Don't forget to mention the Empower Hour for your 10% discount.
So, who placed in the order?
Me.
DeVito, WizKid, Burna Boy. Those are just some of the big names that's blessed Montreal thanks to Afrobeats Montreal. Definitely check out Afrobeats MTL for all concerts, show listings, everything that has to do with Afrobeats in the city. Check out Afrobeats MTL. One full circle. We are the Melanated Community Resource Hub and Network. What does that mean? We're here for each other. And you know what? Because I know there's no flukes or coincidences. So we know that this was by design, because by them allowing us to collect our data and to put it out, they can't hide anymore. They can't continue to, put us in certain boxes, because now they can't claim that ignorance anymore. And we all know the information is public. So that brings me to our next point, because you're working on a specific survey right now, right? There's something that is specific that we're working on. So if we could touch a little bit more on that, because I'll put it out right now, full disclaimer and all transparency. When I originally got the email about the survey, I definitely didn't fill it out, and I could tell you it's because of the fact that I was under the impression. That's why I'm so glad that we had an opportunity to connect. Shout out Valerie Gordon for making that bridge, because like it, as the community knows, I'm my heart, my soul, everything is for the people and uplifting your people. And when I get these things, I'm like, this seems like a government thing. They want to take my information, give it to massa, and then reverse it on me. Now you know more about me, and now you're using the information on me to attack me. So I'm like, I wasn't down. And then when we connected, I was like, okay, first of all, you're a brother, you're one of us, and you're about the cause for real, and the data is staying within the community first. Like, it's our data. So all these things are huge. So sorry, I'll digress and let you speak a little bit about it. But I had to put that out because I don't want to pretend. Everybody knows me. I keep it 100. So
Very, very good. And again, thanks, my brother, for bringing it up. As I said, we need to collect our data, and what we're having. There's an organization by the name of FACE. It's called the Federation of African Canadian Economics, and there's another organization by the name of Group Transit.
Yes,
they came together and they hired us to conduct the survey. The reason why they hired us also because from our history, we have collected and have more experience collecting data on the Black population than any organization in Canada. So we have conducted, maybe more than, we have done it, and they have interviewed, they have reached out to us. So when we went to Quebec, it started in October. We did a lot of the desk review. We got in contact, thanks to Statistics Canada and all the agencies who engaged with us. We spoke to them. We went down into Quebec, thanks to Ms. Val Gordon, who provided assistance to us, and all the other teams who helped us. And when we started looking at the data, in terms of the name of the project was the Black Quebecers Pension Project.
Sorry, say it again. The Black
Quebecers Pension Survey.
Right. Okay.
So that's the name of the project. So
yes.
we're looking to getting data on the issue of finance and on the issue of pensions for Black people, where Black people save, how much they save, if they have accounts, inside Canada, outside Canada, and all the very interesting discussions about savings and financing and saving for the future, if you have a pension plan, etc., etc. And when we look at the data, brother Pedro, for our Black population, the data does not look good. In the sense, we as a population, we're not saving for the future. We don't have a pension.
Yikes.
Okay, and when we are let's say above age 65, just from the data so far, close to over 33% of us still have to work.
Oh wow.
Okay, the general population is about 20%. Okay, so when people are above 65, about 20% of the general population still continue to work. However, with us Black people, about over 30-something%, 33%. Wow. So that shows a lot of red flags. Is that, first of all, very few Black people, less than 39% of us have pensions. We as an organization, we do not have pensions among us. We do not save, we don't work. With the type of work we have, it's not, there's no pension. So it's very difficult for us to save.
And without savings and without a pension, that means our parents, our grandparents are either going to be working in their old age, or they're going to be suffering in extreme poverty.
Or dependent on us.
Exactly. And that is what we see. That's what we see within our community. The older you get, the more you have to depend on your children. So your children now becomes an investment for you, because you do not have savings.
Right.
And we now want to highlight that. We want to encourage people to save. In our discussions with some of the focus group, people are not aware of what is the stocks, what is a mutual fund.
Wow.
In 2023, okay? And,
wow.
and so something has to be done.
Yeah.
We need to promote, and know about our investment, and that is lacking within our community. And that is why the survey is so important.
Wow. And you're hitting certain things on the head. Like, I'm looking at this, and what I appreciate about it is that as a community resource, like we're a super hub in the community, so we're able to create programs, bridge people, but without knowing in advance. So now, as you're saying, this is like it's ringing bells, right? It's saying that, you know what, there needs to be some things put into place to start to curve this. So it's like, but again, without the information, without the data, we're blind, like we're just getting hit with things, and that puts us in a constant state of reacting to situations.
Yes.
Opposed to
Yes.
planning ahead and saying, okay, you know what? We see this coming. What kind of groups can we connect with? Who's out there doing financial literacy? Who are connecting with our elders to make sure, and actually trying to go a step before our elders to be sure that even us as adults, we're investing into these kind of pensions. So that, yeah, there's tons of things that we need to start looking at as a community,
And
but
that
without
is
the
why,
data,
and that is why, my brother and ladies and gentlemen, this survey is needed. We need to collect the data because as statisticians, we need to measure it. We need to count it.
yeah.
We have to know. We know that, for example, in Quebec, based on our data, there are 178 places where Black people live. Okay, so we're all over Quebec, but yet we do not know each other. We do not communicate with each other, and it is time that we start, collecting the data and the time that we need to start for us to start working together. And we hope that when this data comes out, we also like to reach out to you organization, maybe have further focus groups with members and get their opinion about saving. For example, we are one of the only organizations that really do not collect data on ourselves. We rely on Statistics Canada to collect data, but the data that they have is not enough. We need to collect more data on our population. All the other ethnic groups collect data, except us.
Wow.
Okay, and what makes this different is that we, as Black people, we are diverse. There are over 207 ethnic groups just from Black people alone.
Wow.
So we are very diverse, but we only want to look out for our own. And that is why we need to communicate under one umbrella.
Brother,
and that is why the data
I appreciate this so much because there's a level of fear sometimes in giving out information. And you're really helping people to be educated on why it's important to share this because it's for the future. It really is.
Yes.
Yeah. And as you guys know, we're not here just telling you guys no, just freely just give your information to anybody who's asking for it. As you guys know, again, how we get down with the OFC. If we're going to endorse things, it's because we've done our due diligence. These are like Dr. Pierre is a member of the OFC, which means he's abided by our community commitments, which also unifies us as a community, shows us that basically you understand you're here fighting the same fight. We basically you understand what time it is. We could trust you as a member of our community. You're another brother in our community, and you're here looking out for our best interest as a people. So so it's like I just want to put a little disclaimer out there because I am, like I said at the beginning, I'm one of these people that I'm very reluctant to just give out the information, but I feel very at peace, very comfortable being able to endorse and encourage us because I know it's.
And you also have to and thank you, and you also have to know that the data that we provide, no names will be called, it's totally confidential, and it will go. It's non-governmental. It goes to Face and Group Transcenter, and the report will come out, and we will analyze their data, and you as members you will have the opportunity to review the data and to see their report. And the information will also help you to organize, to better plan your life. And that is why it is so important. But if you don't know, some people, when I express this to people said, this is the first time I'm hearing that.
Exactly.
This is the first time I'm hearing that, we are, so much of us are vulnerable.
That's it. Okay? That well said. That's what it is. We're vulnerable. Yeah.
Yes. And it either by design or either through ignorance, but it doesn't really matter. We are vulnerable, and that has to change because we have, as small as persons, we have 1.5 million people here. We could be the perfect example. Right now, from our database, there are about 27,000 Black businesses in Canada, 27,400 Black businesses. We have what is called a business owners, 79,000 business owners. So about one in every three persons. On average income is about that the business makes around $61,000. Okay, so our goal is to have 50,000 Black businesses by 2027. 50,000. So if we have 50,000 Black businesses, average income, average gross sales of 115,000.
That would be amazing.
Brother, we don't have, we could live, we could survive,
Yeah, we could do our own thing. We could do our own thing.
Perfect employment. We have perfect employment. So it's not that difficult, but we have to make a commitment. But we have to start by collecting the data.
And you just hit something on the head. And after this, we'll give people the contact information, because I know now people are listening and they're like, okay, all right, now you've convinced us. How do I participate? But one thing that just another perspective I want to give, again, just the value in what we're doing is for our organizations and our business owners, because we now would own this data, we could reach out and say, okay, you know what? We don't just have to go to what is it, StatsCan or whatever the case. We could actually go within our own communities, connect and get the data that we need to bring our businesses forward or bring our organizations forward. And that, guys, this is the first time in history. This is huge things. Like, people should be excited about what they're hearing on the radio, especially if you're in business, because data is key. Every business will tell you that. The more you know about your target market, the more you know about your audience, the more you know about the needs of your community, you can cater. Business is about seeing a need and filling a need. So it's like, from when we know what the needs are and we know how to address them, guys, the limit in terms of what we could do. That figure we're talking, 50,000 business or 50,000 companies generating 150,000 a year. That would be a breeze. So anyway, I'll digress a little bit. So
you see, that is the look what happened. If we, for example, if we have 50,000 businesses, okay, by 20 multiply 115,000 per year, that is about $5.5 billion.
Jeez.
You see, listen, it's just, you see, because we have to, and that is why it's so important to measure these things.
Yes.
Right now, in our database, for example, we have about 643,000 people registered in our database. So it's just a matter of time. That's how people seeing the value about data.
That's huge.
And that is why we have to commend organization as yours for being out there to collect the information, engage the community. And I hope with this program you will get more members to join your organization, because without organization as yours, we will be in the wilderness, because we are one of the few ethnic group, in fact, maybe the only ethnic group who does not really collect data.
Right.
If you want to see about good data collection, go into the Filipino community. They have data on almost everyone.
Wow.
Okay, yep. But we don't know. We don't know. Look at the South Korean community. They collect data when they come in. When someone come to their country, or when someone come in Ontario, they provide assistance to them.
I love that. You see, no, brother, Dr. Pierre, you're hitting it on the head. And in like, just give a random example, and then we'll give people the contact info. Just recently, because we're still going through a little situation in Montreal with our Montreal Carnival, and one of the things that we did, we put out a questionnaire to the community to ask them, what, like, basically, would you be interested in participating? What's your thought on? And the fact that we got responses that has given us, like, it gives us ammunition, so to speak, to be able to go to the city, to be able to go to the funders, to be able to go to bands and say, you know what, we have people in the community based off this demographic. They're saying they are interested in participating. They want to, they'll play mass, they'll volunteer. But again, without that data, without that information, it's like we're just kind of guessing or assuming. But now the fact that people are taking the time to fill in the information, we know, exactly where they stand. So how can people connect? So those who do want to take the survey. So I know first off, they could Google, right? Old school. There was what was the name of the pension survey we're doing?
It's a Black Quebecers pension survey, or you can Google FACE, Black Quebecers pension survey, or if anyone can email us to survey SURVEY @dpbglobal.com. We'll send a copy, or we send a link. You fill out the survey. And what will happen is that when we do the national survey, we'll provide more information. But it is important for us to fill this out. Every Black person in Quebec, we should fill it out. We know that Quebec has some specific challenges because one of the highest rates of undocumented people, are also in Quebec. People who are like asylum seekers, refugees, all of them are stationed in Quebec. We need to help them. We need to know who they are. They need to fill out the survey. So at least we can now have data and provide with evidence that something has to be done. And that's why we have to thank the organization. We also have to give thanks to FACE and also Group Transit, and all the other organizations who have supported us, who have provided, who have come up with the capital for us to conduct these surveys. And remember that these surveys are not cheap. They are very, very detailed.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why we have to commend all those organizations.
Brother, this is huge. So again, as our listeners are here, and Ingo, did you have anything else you want to say?
No, I just want to thank you in advance. Thank you so much for bringing such a poignant, like the way you put it together. I can't see anybody not understanding that it is important, because I know there's a lot of people, myself included, who have the fear of giving out information, but this is for our community to help and for our future generations to come.
Yes.
Thank you so much for doing the work.
And lastly, I'm on WhatsApp or email. My phone is 647-966-4783. I repeat, 647-966-4783. You can reach out to me at WhatsApp. You can give me a call, and my email is C as in Charlie, Justine, Justine, Justin with an E at the end, and Pierre, Pierre @gmail.com. So C, Justine Pierre @gmail.com. And and reach out to all the Haitians. When I say my name, everybody asks me if I'm Haitian. So but we are Caribbean. As I said, we all one people.
That's what it is. We are all one people. And so actually, as you're saying that now, because this is the Empower Hour. I like to have our guests leave our listeners with some empowering words. So can I ask you? Can you leave our listeners with some words today?
Right. Good. What I would like to tell people is that just examine your thoughts. Examine your thoughts, because you get about 70,000 thoughts per day, and it's not necessarily yours. It's just flowing in the atmosphere. So if you believe something, question it. Examine, hey, where did I get that belief from? So I would like you, brothers and sisters, to examine your thoughts. Remember that data is important. So examine your thoughts.
I love that. I love that. I love that. King, thank you so much. It's like I said, it's an honor having you as one of our members, one of our affiliates of the OFC, like one of our partners within the community. Again, we stand behind you wholeheartedly and look forward to just continue to push the message, encouraging our community to get the information, connect, submit when they see the survey come. Now, when they see it, they'll know it's coming from a reliable source, and they'll gladly fill it in. So again, thank you for being a guest with us on Probably with the People, and for blessing us today on the Empower Hour.
Thank you very much. One love.
Kings and queens, this was the Empower Hour with Pharaoh Freeman, Queen Kaya, and Gina the Great. We are on live every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. and broadcasting Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. on CKUT 90.3 FM. Hopefully you got your dose of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. Subscribe and watch us on empowermtl.com and email us at empowermtl@gmail.com to anonymously be featured on our What's the Tea Mail segment. Stay blessed, black, and highly favored.